Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to TRICENTIS Tosca SAP Automation tutorial. As you all know, I've already published 6 YouTube videos covering different topics related to SAP application test case automation by using TRICENTIS Tosca. So this is our lesson 7 where I'm going to cover some of additional concepts related to test case automation by using TRICENTIS Tosca. If you remember, in my previous 2 sessions, I've already covered step 1, step 2, and step 3 that are involved in automating your end-to-end test case. So in this session, I'm going to cover the step 4, where I'm going to teach you how to populate test step values for the test cases that we created in our earlier session. I would recommend you guys to visit my previous 2 sessions before you watch this session. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you. Okay, so if you see in the slide, in my previous 2 sessions, as I told you, I have covered step 1, 2, 3. Step 1, I've already taught you how to scan SAP GUI controls and create modules. And then I have covered creation of test case structure. And then I have covered create test step values by using modules. In this session, I'm going to teach you how to populate test step values for your test cases so that almost your end-to-end test case automation will be completed. So now let's jump onto the system and see how can we populate test step values for your test cases and test case steps.
Okay, so this is my TRICENTIS Tosca 16 latest version. So if you remember, in our previous 2 sessions, we have captured all the modules or controls that are required to automate this test case, end-to-end test case, right? And then what is our next step? We performed, so let me show you. So if you see on the right side, we captured all the controls and then we created a test case structure. Okay, the test case name called generate verify sales order, and this is the structure we created. And if I expand this, so that is our step 2. And then if I expand this, we also created the test steps from the modules, from standard modules and the modules that we created. We dragged and dropped into the test case folder structures, correct, to form the test steps. So these are all these test steps that we created. So I would recommend you guys to visit my previous session so that you will understand very well how to populate test step values. Okay, so now in this session what we are doing, we are going to populate test step values for all the test steps that we created in earlier session. Okay, so how can you populate test step values? By using the column called value. If you see value, so you by using this value column, you can populate the test step values. Okay, so now, so first, as part of our test case flow, if you remember in our earlier session, I've already discussed about the test case flow, correct? So let me show you. Okay, let's go to program files, right? SAP, and here in front end and in SAP GUI, you can see the SAP logon icon. You can see the SAP logon icon. So you need to identify that SAP logon icon. Okay, this is my icon. Okay, so what is our first step here? My first step is opening SAP GUI, correct? So we dragged open SAP GUI from our standard modules and then we created a step, correct? So here this step requires SAP logon path and the connection name. Okay, so for that, right click on the icon here and copy your path. Copy as path. I'm copying the path of this SAP login icon. Okay, and then you need to paste that path as a value against this step. Done. And then what is SAP connection? Our SAP connection is IDES extern. If you remember, we created a connection also, right? So this is my connection. So now what it will do? This will open our SAP GUI and then clicks on your IDES extern. So let me run this. Okay, let me quickly run whatever we automated now. Let's run this and see how it runs. Right click and click on run. So before that, let me close. What is this? Okay, so right click on this test case and let's run this. I'm just making sure that the steps and the values whatever we provided, it works correctly. So it should click on icon and then it should open. See, it's clicked on icon and then it should click on IDES extern. Yeah, it's clicked on IDES extern also, and hence it opened your connection, right? That is done. After that, what is our next step? We need to provide your credentials, correct? So for that we mapped the test case called login to SAP GUI. Here, what are all the values that we need to provide? So we need to provide client username password, correct? So my client is, I will be providing the value as 8000 and I'm going to provide my username, correct? So let's take the username and then I'm going to provide the password. Okay, okay, so this is my password, right? And then I need not to provide the language. All I need to do is hit on enter, correct? So here I'm gonna mark as X because we captured enter control here. So if I captured as X, that means it's gonna perform enter. Okay, it's gonna perform enter. Okay, so basically it's gonna perform enter key. Okay, so done. So let's run this. So what I'm doing, I'm just slowly providing values and then quickly making sure the values whatever we provided that works. So it should type your client and then it should type your username and password. So let's see. I think it's got failed. Let's see what is wrong with that. Okay, let's see. Text field technical. Okay, so let's do one thing. Username is this. I'm just making sure again. Okay, user password. I think it should run. Okay, let's close our again. Let's run these two steps together. Okay, let me run this again. Right click and run. It should open your SAP GUI and then connection, your username, sorry, your client. Oh, I think I got this. I think we are making some mistake here. So let me quickly correct that. Okay, my client is actually it's 800. Okay, it's not 8000, it's 800. Okay, my client is 800. So let's now run this. Okay, so basically you have to debug your coding in the same way, in this manner. Okay, see, it's open now. Now it's done. Okay, so basically it's successfully, I mean the password is not accepted anyway. So I'm going to provide the correct password, so that should work fine. Okay, log off. So it worked. Basically, it worked. Earlier, what happened? The previous session was open. That's why, see, everything is successful. Okay. So that is done. Now, after you open, what you will do? You're going to open the transaction. How? If you remember, so let me open this. So I'm opening the SAP GUI and then double click on this. Provide your username and password. And hit enter. So once you hit enter, here I need to provide hash NVA01, correct? In the search criteria. So this I explained you in my previous session. So for that, here in the transaction code, I'm going to enter 01. And once I enter VA01, I need to hit enter, correct? So for that, I'm going to select the button called enter, correct? So now let's remove this and then run this step. Simple this step. I'm going to run this step. So what it will do? It will enter hash, sorry, / NVA01, hit enter. That's it. Successful. So it is passed. See, these two steps are passed. Done. So once that is done, what we'll do? We will be landing onto overview page. So if you see, I have to provide organization type, sales organization, and then distribution channel. Okay. So I've already explained you this manually how to perform all these in my previous session. Okay. So, sorry, here. What is my organization type? It's OR. I need to enter OR. And then my sales organization is 1000. My distribution channel is 12. And then my division is 00. Correct? Once that is done, I need to enter. So I think here I need to add one more step here actually. Before I go to overview, I need to click on save. For that, what we can do is go to standard module, right? Go to standard module and you need to drag and drop your existing module. Okay, you can drag and drop your existing module here. What is the module? Your toolbar, SAP toolbar. So let me drag and drop here because I need to perform enter key. So here I can simply click enter, correct? So once I enter all these, I need to hit enter, this enter button. Okay, so now let's run this. My initial screen automation is done. Arc type, this enter and hit enter. That's it. So now we landed onto overview screen. And here in the overview screen, see if these are all passed. My first is passed, second is passed, done. In my overview, right, if you remember, I have to provide, in my previous session I explained you, sold to party, shipped to party, PO number. Okay, so let's enter those values here. Okay, sold to party is 1175, my shipped to party is 1175, and my PO number is 123, right? And then you need to save the record. To save the record, what you're gonna do? Again, you are gonna hit enter, correct? So that means take the button, enter. So now, but I'm not gonna fill anything in the table, below table, as we did in earlier session, because I'm gonna explain how to handle the SAP tables in my next session. Okay. So in further sessions, I'm going to explain how to. I'm going to prepare a separate session on handling SAP tables. Okay. That's why I'm going to enter all these. Okay. So now let's run this. These two. Let's run these two. Overview, under overview folder, I have these two steps. Okay. Let's run these two steps. run in Scratchbook. It's going to fill the values and hit enter. Perfect. So it's saved your information, correct? And now what is our next step? Our next step is I have to go to header and sales, correct? For that we already mapped this one. Navigate to sales from header. How? Here you need to provide the same path here. Go to, correct? Go to. So let me enter go to, and you have to use this arrow and then go to and header and sales, correct? Header and this arrow sales. Okay, so once you navigate to your next screen, what it will do, you need to enter your document date. Let me put my document name date as tomorrow's date, 01 sorry 26 dot 01 dot 2023. Okay, so let me run this now. Okay, let me run one by one. Okay, run this first to navigate to sales. So it will navigate to sales. Go to sales. Say done. So now it clicked on go to and sales. Now here I need to enter the date, right? So what I am entering 26. So let's run this. Done. See, it entered 26/01/2023. So once that is done, I have to save the record, correct? I have to save the record. For that, I need to select save here, right? So now let's run this. Done. It got saved. See, record standard order 620 has been saved. And then I need to close the transaction. So earlier I explained you to close the transaction, you have to enter /n in the search bar and then hit enter, correct? So that's why here I'm going to enter /n and then I'm going to select the button called enter. Done. So now run this. Right click, run in Scratchbook. That's it. Done. So that means we have completed automating our entire test case. So in this test case, we are not performing any validations as such as of now, because I'm going to cover the validation and steering the table, SAP table, in my upcoming sessions. So now whatever the test case we automated, let's run this all together. Okay, let's see this one and then let's expand the steps. See all the values, you can see all the values here, correct? We entered. Now let's run this all together, how it runs. It is opening the GUI, it is opening the connection, it is entering the credentials successfully, and then it went to sales order initial screen and then overview, saved, and then we are going to navigate to sales and enter the date and save it and exit. Perfect. So now all the results, whatever we executed or whatever the test case we automated, those are all got passed. See, all green checks, all greens, each and every step got passed. So now see, basically as soon as you save the transaction sales order, right, at the end it displays you your sales order successfully saved and this is your order number. So we are going to validate that, and also we are going to handle SAP tables in our upcoming sessions. Okay, Hope you all understand how to populate the test step values for the test cases. If you have any queries, leave your queries in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Thank you.
Hope you all understand the concept of your step 4 as part of test case automation, how to populate test step values for the test cases. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You will receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.